Hello, class. Welcome to BUS 352, where you're going to get a class that will blow your mind away. Our goal is to take data and information and help you all make informed decisions wherever God places you. Are you ready for this? Some of you guys are already nervous. Uh-oh, this is going to be a hard class. Look, the way we've designed this class is when you do it right, it will do you right. So we want to show you how to do it right. So it will always do you right. Come on, let's have a great class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Please keep in mind, my head is going to be on the swivel because I got multiple screens. You know, I do. I try to make sure that I have everything set up right with multiple screens, multitasking, and all that stuff. All right. But welcome to BUS 352. My name is Dr. Leslie Danju, the lead for this course. I'll be guiding you through all the homework assignments, all the exam preps throughout our class. Let's go. Let's get that A. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you all. Give me a second here. Let me make sure I got the right screen. Good. All this information right in here. Perfect. Let's get this going. All right. So you should see my screen. You should see everything over here. This is our class. All right. So in our class, you guys are going to see a couple things. A couple things I want to let you guys know about. And as this course matures, some of these things might be different, but the concept is basically in the same location, same areas, right? The class resources. If you click on this, this is where you'll see our textbook. One of our textbooks is right here. This is where you'll find all the homework assignments. So if you're looking for the homework assignments, you can click on class resources, click view resource, and you will be able to get to your homework assignments. All right. But what I will highly recommend is that you guys click on view resources right now if you have never signed up for Cengage, and sign up with your GCU's username and put in a new password and set up an account. So once you have set up an account, once you click in here again, it will take you straight into our classroom. All right. Next part of this, we have a second book, The Statistician in You. My wife and I wrote this book. Hey, it is what it is. Hopefully this will help you write statistical reports in a much easier way. All right. So make sure that you click on this. All right. What we're doing is we're providing this book. If you guys want an actual hard copy on Amazon, you could go on Amazon, order it. All right. And you'll be able to have the book in hand. All right. But you can have it electronically right here. All right. So now that we have all of that, I want to kind of give you a brief overview of business statistics, and then we'll jump into the homework and knock that out. And hopefully you guys can get that done at 100%. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So welcome to BUS 352. All right. Good. Once again, we have two books. Yeah. That's my baby. All right. The Statistician in You. Each and every one of you guys are statisticians. Let's go. Don't forget that. All right. And also, we're going to be using this. And as you can see right here, it says Microsoft Excel. All right. We're going to be doing business statistics using Microsoft Excel. Some of you guys are used to doing things the old way, where in high school you would do your calculators or your phones or some graphing calculator or whatever it may be. In this class, the system, the tool that we're using is Microsoft Excel. If you try to do this on your own, it's going to be a struggle. But if you use Microsoft Excel, hopefully you will see that this system provides you systematic, successful results every single time if you set it up right. I'm going to be showing you how to set this up right. All right. So we're going to get these two books and we're going to show you how to access both of those. All right. So let's get into this topic of business statistics. One of the things that we want to do when we're talking about business statistics is to talk to you guys about business statistics from a Christian worldview perspective. Did you know that God created everything? And if God created everything, can we use everything to make informed decisions? Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. So, in our book that we wrote, The Statistician in You, we started off from that perspective. Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created everything, y'all. He created the heavens with an S, mind blown, and the earth. Now, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. So now we can use data and information to help us make informed decisions. This story, some of you guys have heard over and over again. Boring, right? Nah, man, we can actually uncover hidden secrets from this story. Yes, we can. Did you know that the earth was all water when it first started? All right, let me get my laser. All right, right here. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. It was basically all water. It was formless, it was empty, and it was dark, y'all. Sometimes in life, we feel formless, empty, and dark. Right at the beginning, something important was happening. God was observing that the earth was formless, it was empty, and it was dark. But there's a solution, y'all. God said, "Let there be light." As statisticians, we got to ask the questions. All right. When we see this data and information, we got to ask informed questions. What is that light? This is when Jesus showed up. All right. And in John 8:12, it says this: "I am the light of the world." Jesus is saying to his disciples, "I am the light of the world." So can you imagine when God says, "Let there be light"? It's basically saying, Jesus, you are going to be there to take care of formlessness, emptiness, and darkness. Woo! All right. He is the light of the world. He is the person that we can put our trust in. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Today, what we're doing is using statistics, data, and information, stuff that could be in darkness, stuff that could be formless, stuff that could be empty. And we're going to shed light on it so that way you can make informed decisions wherever you go. All right, good. So, business statistics. What is business statistics? We are using what God has created, everything, y'all, to help us make informed decisions. Cool. But in the book, all right, statistics is using data and information to make informed, factual business decisions. One of the things that we're going to be doing in this class, and the reason why we have two books, is we want you, when you get into the real world, to know what to do. We don't want you to just show up and be lost, right? We want you to show up and actually know how to write two types of reports. A report that is dealing with a PowerPoint and a report that is dealing with an actual Word document report. All right. And the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be talking about business statistics from the concept of the COVAS. All right. So my wife and I coined this whole concept, but ultimately it's a process in which if you write your reports from this process, you'll be able to do it systematically and succinctly every single time. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. So we're going to be using decovas. First, D represents define. C, how do you define the data? Then how do you collect the data? How do you then organize the data? How are you telling your audience, how did you organize this data? How did you visualize it? Charts, bar chart, pie charts, that kind of stuff. How do you analyze it? Some kind of calculation, analysis of this data to help you make informed decisions. And last but not least, the solution. All right, good, good, good. So when we're dealing with data, all right, data comes in two main forms. It comes population, all right? Population is everything, right? But in this class, what we're doing is taking a sample to understand the population's data. Once you get this concept, you can flow through business statistics pretty easy, all right? Population data is always going to be represented by capital N. Sample data is always going to be represented by lowercase n, all right? Now, statistical inference is when we're going to be using a sample to understand the population parameters. Throughout this class, that is all we will be doing. We'll be using samples to understand everything. Why? Because in order to get population data, it takes up too much time, too much resources, too much energy. We ain't got time for that. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a sample. We're going to take a subset of that population data and analyze and hopefully get an understanding of what the population data is actually saying. All right, good, good, good. All right. Note to self, we're going to be putting all this data into some kind of table. All right, we call this a contingency table or a cross tabulation table. But here's a quick visual of what it kind of looks like. These up here, all right, from the second one over, are your variables. This is your first variable, second variable, third variable. All right, the rows are actually called your elements. First element, second element, third element, and so on and so forth. All right, good, good, good. Each one of these data points, all right, these are your data points within this contingency table. Each one of these represent a data point. Everything, y'all, oh, the observation is all of your data points as it relates to a element. Good, good, good. And last but not least, everything is your data set. All right. One last thing I want to talk about, and then we'll jump into this homework assignment. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. When we're dealing with data, data is broken down. Variables are broken down into two main categories, two main things, categorical and numerical. Some of you guys are going to pass out when you hear categorical. Stop the madness. Categorical is just some kind of category. All right. Married status. Are you married? Yes or no? Political status. Are you Republican? Are you Democrat? Are you independent? All right. Anything like true or false, this or that is a categorical variable. Don't lose that. Don't mess that up. All right. Now, once you understand categorical, then you can jump over to numerical. Do you see number inside of numerical? Hopefully you are. You're like, yeah, I see number. We're dealing with some kind of category or we're dealing with some kind of number. Numbers can be broken down into two ways, discrete and continuous. Discrete is pretty easy. It is an exact, precise number. The number of glasses I got, yo. The number of shirts I got. The number of hats I may have. It is an exact, precise number when we're asking for that thing. Continuous, it is not exact or precise. It is some kind of measured value like height, weight, voltage, velocity, current. Anything that is measured, it is continuous. So you can get a good mental of this. Let me break it down as such. Imagine now for a continuous variable, someone was like, hey, Dr. Danju, how tall is you? How tall is you? Yes, I said that. I would say 5'11". But am I really 5'11"? Or am I 5'11.111211 blah, 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 blah? Yeah, but we round it off to make it make sense. It is a continuous number that we round off to make sense. So do you see how it's a continuous numerical variable? Yeah, yeah. All right, so please don't mess this up. Discrete is exact and precise. Continuous is some kind of measured value. Categorical is some kind of category. Yeah, yeah. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. We are ready basically for this homework assignment. Note to self that if you go into the Trello board, the link will be in the description. So please go into the description. You'll find it below. But on the Trello board, you'll see PowerPoints like I'm presenting right here. All right. In the PowerPoint itself, you'll see slides that look like this. These slides are very helpful. These are the same exact questions that will be coming on your exam. The only difference is the numbers are going to change. The question is, do you have a system set up where if you change the numbers, you will get the right answer? That is why we're using an Excel template. If you done did this right, it's going to done did you right. Yeah, yeah. All right. So we're going to walk through all of this, make sure we get all of this. So with that said, what I want to do is I want to jump into the homework assignment. So there's two ways to get this. You can go to the Trello board or you can go to your class. Let me slide over there. All right. You can click on chapters 1 and then open the assignment. All right. Or you can actually go to your class resources and click on view resource. I'm going to go this way first. For the most part, I'll be going this way. So that way, if something goes awry, you want to go back and do previous homework or whatever the case may be, you want to jump ahead. This is the way to do it. So once you have signed into Cengage, once you click on class resources and view resource, it will take you directly into our classroom. So I'm going to click on it. I've already signed up, so I'm good to go. All right. So we're going to wait for it. Now, Cengage is kind of slow, so be patient. Wait for it. All right. So once it loads up, the way you know that you're in the right class, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see this. All right. Hopefully you can see for topic 1, there's 20 activities. All right. So, and then topic 2 and 3 and 4. The way it works is if you click on topic 1, all right, and you click on graded activities, all right, here is your chapters 1 activity. Now, our textbook for Cengage is right here. All right. If you want to do any more reading, you can click on chapters 1. It will take you there. All right. If you want to do extra stuff, there's optional information right here. Please click on that, see how it works, explore. All right. We're using data and information to make informed decisions. All right. So are you guys ready for chapters 1? Let's get into chapters 1 homework. All right. So what I'm going to do is, give me a second here. I am also going to get my Trello board started. Give me a second. Let me log into my Trello. And once again, the description is in description. The link is in the description below. So let me find this. Yes, I got a whole bunch. All right. All you guys will be able to have access to this. The way it's broken down is exam 1, exam 2, and so on and so forth. All right. Once I get everything set up, you'll be able to see my schedule. If you need me for any reason, you can click on this. You'll be able to see my phone number on there. Please text me. It's the fastest and easiest way to reach me. All right. Templates. All right, you're going to see the new Excel and the old Excel. We just updated this course. So students in the past who wants to go back and use the old Excel, it is way down below. All right, they can click on it. But you guys have the new Excel, so please click on chapters 1. All All right. And what we're going to do is download it. All right. Give me a second here. Let me find this. I'll click on this one right here. This is the new one. Download it. And let's open it. Please be aware that on these Excels, they're going to be updated on Trello. If I find a mistake or want to add different things to it, the most latest and greatest versions are going to be on Trello. All right. So what I'm going to do is once you get this, please enable it. All right. Right off the bat, we're starting off with the formula key on the very bottom. The formula key basically tells you how this Excel is basically created. You'll see gray boxes. That's the stuff that you actually take from Cengage and input it into your Excel. Yellow boxes are the answers that Cengage wants. So once you make your calculations on those yellow boxes, once you answer those things in the yellow boxes, that is what goes into Cengage, and so on and so on and so forth. All right. We're going to show you guys how to set up your templates correctly and so on as we go into chapters 2 and 3 and 4. All right. But the first one I want us to start off with is exercise 1.08. 1.08, click on it. All right. It's going to change it over. Now, the way I work is I multitask everything. I like to do dual screens. So for my Windows users, you can just click on the top, any empty spot on your Excel document, and just drag it. I'm going to drag it to the right corner. All right, it pops up this right here. Then it says, what other screen do you want to use? I'm going to be using my Cengage screen, this guy right here. Click on Cengage. Here's Cengage. All right, here's chapters 1. I'm going to click into chapters 1. If you would, log into chapters 1 in your Cengage, and hopefully you can follow through. If you miss something in class, you can always come back to these videos and help you. All right, so we're going to start assignment now. All right, now each of these are arranged differently. So your job is to make sure that you click through until you get to 1.08. So I'm going to click through. All right. I got lucky. Yours may be all the way down to the end, number 8. Each one of these homework assignments, we have 8 problems. On the exams, we will have 8 problems. So we'll take a bunch from each chapter and make up 8 questions. And once again, those show up in the PowerPoint so you know what is coming. All right, but we're going to get to practice them first. So that way, when you get to the exam, you know that it's working, that everything is set up correct, so you can get that A. Get your A. All right, so now here we have our first question. All right, now for me, because I'm foreign, hopefully you can hear my Caribbean accent. All right, when I read certain things, especially word problems, it takes me like extra readings to kind of get the concept of what they're actually saying, because now I have to translate what exactly they're trying to say. All right. With Cengage, it's the same thing. They're going to be saying stuff and you're like, well, what are they saying? All right. But for me, what I've learned over the years is always start with the numbers. And this is a trick and a tip that you guys can use, but make it do what it do for you. All right. So I see a number right here. That's where I typically start. I try not to get caught up with the fluff. I look at the numbers and I keep it pushing. In a recent poll, that is a survey, all right, that is sample data, all right, 933 readers responded. So you see sample size, you see sample, all right, a survey, yes, a sample of the population, all right. So I'm going to put in 933 up here. Cool. So the way this Excel works is they're going to ask you, what was the sample size of this poll? All right, so sample size. Please, in your Excel, put the equals to symbol right down here. This is what Cengage would want. It's yellow, right? So what we're going to do is put equals to and click this number that you have up here. Please do not type it in. Click it. It is a reference, and I'll show you why here in a second. So I click that number, and I'm going to press enter. It automatically gives me that same number. Yeah. All right. So with this same number, if on the exam, if in your situation, it is a different number, let's say it is 764. When I enter that new sample size from the homework assignment or whatever you guys may have or the exam, it's 764 and I press enter, it's automatically going to update this. Yeah. So you want to make sure you understand how Excel works. All right. Excel is a powerful tool that most applications are using. All right. The ideas and the concepts within Excel is being replicated across the board. I thought Excel was going to be done when I was going to college, but it has survived all of these years and I don't see it going anywhere for a long while. All right. So that is the first one. All right. So if I put in, what was the number? 933 in my case. Good. So in Cengage, I'll make this bigger so you guys can see this. Good. I will put in 933. The way this homework assignment works is you have unlimited check your work to make sure that you're getting these answers right. Click it. Even if you think you got it right, click it just to make sure. All right. When you click it, it's going to give you a green checkbox. If you get it wrong, it's going to give you, let me put in 7, blah, blah. It's going to give you a red checkbox. Stop the madness. You get it right. All right. So we're going to put in 933, check our work. Please do not click on submit for graded until you see all green checkboxes. Yeah. All right. You only have 3 submit assignment for grading. All right. But you have unlimited check your works. So please make sure that you have it all complete before you click submit for graded. Note to self. All right. But if you mess up that first time, just go back into it again. You have 3 chances. Get it right. Get your A. All right. So that's the first one. Are the data categorical or quantitative? What they're asking about is this part right here. Possible responses on this survey were yes, no, not sure. Does that sound like a category or does that sound like a number? Hopefully you'll be like, yo, man, that's categorical. Yeah. So this is why you will put categorical right here. So for me, because I do what I do, all right, I try to keep everything light. I'm going to put in my Excel cat for category. All right. If you guys want to type out the whole word, that is on you. All right, good. So the next part goes in and said, would it make more sense to use averages or percentages? All right. When we're dealing with categories, will we use percentage or will we use average? Some of you guys are like, I don't know, man. All right. Think about it. If you're using numbers, you will use an average. If you're using categories, you will use a percentage. Yeah. All right. So in this one right here, let me check my work first to make sure categorical is right. Check your work. Yes, sir. All right. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click percentages, check my work. All right. Here's how I always remember this. All right. How do you remember that categorical is percentages? Do you see what I put here? There's a cat. What does a cat do? It purrs. Hey, stop the madness. I know it's not the right spelling, but a cat will always purr. Yeah. That's the way I remember it. Hopefully that helps you. When we're dealing with categorical variables, we're dealing with percentages. Yeah. All right. And last but not least, they're going to say of the respondents in the United States, 68% said yes. So this is where we'll put in 68. All right. You don't need to change it to a percentage. All right. And then what we're going to do is it says, how many individuals provided this response? Here is your formula. The way we're doing these Excels is pretty cool. Back in my day, we had to memorize every single formula. But for why? When you guys get into the real world, no one is checking to see if you remember the formula. They're going to be like, hey, find the formula. I don't care how you get the formula, but get the formula and get the question that we're asking right. Yeah. So in our class with the Excel templates, for the most part, our formulas are going to come to the left and we're going to do the work to the right. So all we're asking you guys to do is you'll see the formulas to the left, copy it. Ensure that you include the equals to sign. Copy it. Go to the right, double click on the right. You're going to see your cursor, the actual thing in there blinking. All right, that's how you know that you've double clicked on it. All right, if you just single click on it, it's just going to highlight the entire cell. We want to work inside of the cell. So that's why we're double clicking on it. All right. And you'll paste. So to copy it is Control C, Command C, depending on if you're using a Mac or Windows. Mac is Command C. Windows is Control C. All right. To paste it in there is Command V if you're a Mac user, or Control V if you're a Windows user. All right. So my fingers are already set. All right. Control C, Control V. All right. To copy and paste. All right. So all we're doing now is replacing everything in lowercase, basically. This right here is the function. So don't mess with this. When it's all caps, leave it alone. No cap. Anyways, double click on P. All right, and select the P's number. Do not manually enter it. Start using references, reference points. So if you click it, then you can grab that reference point. So if you were to change this number, it's going to change this formula down here. Do it right. All right, so you see lowercase n. Double click on it and click on your, I will click on this one right up here. Let's click on B1. All right, and every time we're doing some kind of sample or trying to find the actual sample size, you always must round up. All right, so you must round up. So this is why to the next whole number, this is why we left this at 0. All right, so once you press enter, you will have your number and we'll put in 635. Check your work. Yes, sir. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. So that is the first one. Hopefully that made sense. If anything that makes sense, please stop this recording, go back, slow it down, see how I did it, and get yours right. All right. Let's bounce over to 1.10, please. All right. 1.10. All right, click through until you find 1.10 right here. Good. Give me a second here. All right, that first one that we did will be an exam question, so we got to make sure that that one is right. 1.10, this one also will be an exam question, so we got to make sure that this one is set up correctly as well. And then we'll get to the very last one. That one will be on the exam as well. All right, so let's make sure that we get this one right. All right, so on here, once again, you can read all of this, but for me, for why? Always start where the numbers are starting and start from that very sentence right at the numbers or right before it. All right, so I'm going to see right here, I see some numbers. All right, possible responses were strongly agree, somewhat agree, blah, 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 blah. All right, so for strongly agree, I see 43 respondents said that they strongly agreed. All right, so I will put in up here 43. Next one, 140. Next one, 162. Next one, 733. All right, and we want the sum. Once again, the formulas will show up to the left. You can grab this, copy it, and we'll paste it to the right. Double click and paste. Bam, it is the sum of all of these. Every time we're dealing with data, all right, we always want to get the totals. So please keep that in your head. Always get the totals. All right, so we got the sum of all of these. Bam. All right, so now let's go through this. All right, so it says, did the respondents of the statement provide categorical or quantitative data? So somewhat agree, strongly agree, somewhat agree. All right, all of this. Is that a number or is that a category? Hopefully you'll be like, yo, man, that is categorical. And you know what I do? I leave it at cat. All right, then it goes on to say, so let's check our work, make sure that we're good. Yes, sir. All right. Would it make more sense to use percentages or averages? Man, what will the cat do? Bro, the cat will purr. Yeah. Percentage. Let's go. Outstandish. All right. So now it goes on to say what percentage of respondents strongly agree? I don't know how to do that formula. A. The formula is to the left. So start from the equals to sign, copy it, Control C or Command C. Paste that joker up in here. All right. Control C, Command, or Control V, Command V. All right. And all you need to do then is double click on strongly agree. Like take your mouse, hover over strongly agree, and double click. It highlights the entire strongly agree. So now you're going to the strongly agrees number, click it, gives you that reference. Yeah. You go to the total, double click on the total. All right, here's your total. Go to that number to the right of total, click it. Bam. When you press enter, gimme. All right. So this number right here, they want the percentage. All right. So I believe if I click on, let me see. No, that's going to give me that. All right. They want this to the nearest whole number. We already multiplied it by 100, so it's already at percentage. We want this to a whole number. Here is a trick and a tip within Excel. I'm going to maximize this. All right. I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys can see this a little better. All right. We want to make this number a whole number. In Excel, did you know? Up here, you'll see an arrow pointing to the left, which says increase decimal, make it much more decimal points, or decrease decimal. This one right here. For the most part in our class, we'll be using this icon right here. Under the Home tab, you'll see this little icon right under the numbers to decrease your decimal. Please click it. Do you see it decreasing? Yes, sir. All the way to the whole number. You want no decimal places at all. All right. So my answer for this will be 4. So now you know a trick and a tip how to decrease your decimal place. If they said 2 decimal place, you move it over to 2 decimal places. Yeah. If they say 1 decimal place, you move it over. If they say whole number, move it over. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to drag this back. A second, let me drag it back over here. Hey. All right, perfect. Let me make this a little smaller. Good. I'm going to put info. Check your work. All right. On these, every time you guys see a drop down, just get it right. All right. Even if you don't know what this answer is, you can guess. All right. But understand why it is saying what it's saying. Just get it right for all your drop downs. So I'm going to look on here. I'm going to say, all right, it's against allowing. I'm going to check my work. Yes, sir. I got it right. All right. Then you could go back and read why was against allowing correct. But because this will show up on the exam, what we want you guys to do is type it in there. All right, type it in there. That is not going to change. On the exam, it's always going to be against allowing. But ultimately, once you have your system set up, Your answers should be right over and over and over again. All right, so now that we have the first two, I want you guys to save this to your desktop. All right. A lot of times you guys are going to save this into your downloads folder. A lot of times you guys are going to save this into your, I don't know, temporary folders, whatever. Stop the madness. Documents folder. You want to save this document on your desktop. So all you need to do is click on File, Save As. All right. Browse and find your desktop. All right. So for me, I'm looking, let me click on this. Let me find my desktop. Here's my desktop. All right. What I would highly recommend you guys do is create a folder for BUS352 and create folders for each class that you have. Put your stuff in there neatly. Please do not be messy. Arrange your stuff correctly. So here is the BUS352. If you do not have a BUS352 folder, you see this thing right here where it says new folder? Click it. All right, click it and add and type in there BUS352. All right, so in my BUS352, I'm going to click it, double click on it. All right, I got a bunch of stuff in there already. All right, but I want to add this in there. All right, so I have my name. I got the folder that I'm going to put it. I'm going to save it. Please save yours. We will be using these templates for the exams. So please go ahead right now and save your Excel file. All right, save it, save it, save it. Cool. Once you've saved it, everything is good. Let's move on to 1.12. 1.12. I'll make this a little something like that. Give me a second. I'll drag this over here. All right, make it maybe a little bit bigger. All right, this is 1.12. Click through. All right. All right. Where you hiding? Where you hiding? All right, 1.12. On this one, do you see it is all multiple choice? All we're asking is that you done get this right. Go get these answers and get them right. All right. Whatever it is, all right, just get them right. All right. Whether it's yes, no, all right, look. All right. Let's say the first one is categorical. I don't know. Second one is, I don't know, categorical. Whatever it may be. I'm just going through this fast and quick. All right. I don't know. All right. All right. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. I just browsed through it. All right. There's no rhyme or reason. Ultimately, what I'm saying to you is get it right. Hey, I was almost right for almost all of them. All right. First, second, and third. This one is kind of tricky. All right. First, second, and third, those are categories. I would more say that's categorical. But once again, you're not arguing about whether it's right or wrong. You're trying to get it right. All right. So if they're talking about it from the perspective of 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is numerical. Yeah. So it is on you guys. Since this is not an exam question, you can type all of this stuff in there. All right. All visitors, blah, blah, blah. Or you can type out the whole thing if you want. All right. This joker right here is yes. All right. This one is quant. All right. Cat, and quant. All right. Type it out as best as you need it. All right. But when you see these drop downs, as we start going deeper into this course, every time you see a drop down, just get it right. Just get it right. If you have further questions, you can talk to your professors. All right. But ultimately, just get it right. All right. Let's go. Let's go to 1.14, please. So click through until you find 1.14. Yeah, I don't remember where that was. All right, 1.14. All right. Sometimes you can actually copy this data from Cengage and put it into your Excel. In some cases, you have to manually type it in there. In real life, that's the way it works. Sometimes you have the data where you can copy it and put it into like an Excel tool, or sometimes you just have to manually type it in. This is one of those questions that you will have to manually, because as you can see, if I try to highlight it, it's like some kind of weird picture. So just manually type in your numbers, please. Please note to self, junk in equals junk out. Don't be junky. All right. All right. So I'm going to put in my numbers. All right. We want to stay clean as possible. Now, we are not perfect beings. We mess up every now and again. Please be okay with your mess ups. Please be aware of your mess ups. So, for example, this next number for year 3. All right, give me a second. It looks like there's maybe one more. Yep. Okay, there's one more category in there. Please make sure you got 4 years in there. All right, good. So let's say you see 285 and you type 258. That is the way you see things. All right. Be aware of how you function and misfunction, because it's going to help you in real life. If you know you like to see the numbers before and you logically see that in your brain, adjust accordingly. So every time you see numbers like 285, all right, and you know that you typically put 258, recheck that number to make sure that you typed it in there correctly. Nah, man, that's 85, not 58. Help you, help you. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. All right. 287. Type your numbers in there correctly, please. All right. Once you have your numbers, how do we do a time series graph? How do we do a bar chart? They are pretty easy. All right. So for this one right here, this first one, they're looking at cars and they're looking at all of these. So you can actually set up all of, like highlight all of these. Let me maximize this so you can see this. All right. I'm going to do both of these real fast. So just highlight all of these, click on insert. And what we're doing is a line chart, which is one of these. Give me a second. Maybe. All right, this one right here. Click on this one, and we'll do the first one. All right, so you'll see these squiggly thingamajiggies right here. All right, click on that first one. Click on this first one. All right. Now, if you want to change the title and all of that stuff, great. But all I'm going to do is click on the far right, make it smaller, and drag it over in here. All right. So my blue is my hertz. My orange is my dollar. And my gray is my Avis. All right. So they're going to have different colors, but please make sure that you match it up and choose the correct one. Yeah. Get it right. All right. The next one. Let me see what they want. All right. Select a bar chart for rental cars. All right. In service for 4 years. So let me go back to Cengage so you guys can see this. All right. So select whichever one is right. All right. I'm just going to randomly pick one. I didn't look. All right. And then just get these answers right. All right. Good. Which bar chart is correct? They want a bar chart for year 4. All right, good. How do you do this? Let me go back up here. This is how we do this. We just highlight. Now, please be reminded, there's 2 ways to highlight this. All right. When you click on this first cell, a lot of you guys are going to highlight from the bottom right and go down. If you do this, what it's going to do is take all of company and put company 4 times like this. Stop the madness. That's not what you want. Undo that. Control Z to undo it. You want to always, if you want to click and drag, you always want to start from the middle of the cell and then drag down. Yeah. That's how you highlight a section of your data. from the middle of that first cell and drag it down. Cool, tricks and tips. All right, but they just want year 4. So if you press your control key or your command key, click on the middle of year 4 and drag down, you will highlight both company and year 4. Then you can click on insert, and then you can grab the bar chart, which is this guy right here, and select the first one. All right, you see just year 4. So once again, I'm gonna smallify that, and I'm gonna drag it down where we at? Right down here. All right, so I got my bar chart and I got my time series chart. All right, so time series chart is dealing with some kind of time. If you have something to do with time, that's when you deal with a time series chart. All right, if you're dealing with something else, it doesn't have time in it. Yeah. So note to self. All right, so now that I have both of these, hey, give me a second, not too far over. Hey, there we go. All right, now I have both of these. Once again, these are all drop downs. So I'm not even going to take the time to look and find it right and all that stuff. I'm just going to check my work. Hopefully I got at least one of them right. Yeah. Okay, I got one of them right. Get it right. For all drop downs, just get it right. Yeah. All right. So make sure that you get all of these right. Check your work. Good to go. All right. But I've showed you guys how to do a time series chart and how to do a bar chart. All right. Good. Let's go to 1.18, please. 1.18. I believe that was the first one of mine. Nope. This is why we're not functioning in this class from memory. All right. 1.18. Where you at? Okay. Good. All right. So we got a whole bunch of number, a random telephone survey, a sample. All right. Bam. Plug that in. So I'm just going to bigify this. Give me a second. Make this bigger so you guys can see this. Make this bigger. Yes, sir. All right. So plug in your numbers. All right. And then it says adults. All right. Age 18 and older. All right. Good. The survey results showed 670 surveyed plan to file their taxes electronically. File your taxes electronically. You got time to manually do this stuff anymore. Anyways, so we got that. All right. So here is the first thing. Develop a descriptive statistic. How do you develop a descriptive statistic? Right here. Here is your formula. Copy that. Paste it. Give me a second. Let's undo. All right. Give me a second. I'm rushing. Let me copy this. Control C, Command C. Paste it to the right. Double click and paste. All right. So for your X, if you double click on X, it highlights your X. Then you can click your X number. Double click on N. It highlights the N. Then you can click on your N's number. All right. And what we're going to do is press enter. All right. And on here, all you need to do under the home tab, you're going to see percentage. If you click it, it will give you the percentage. All right. So that first one should be, if I did it right, they want a whole number. Yes, sir. Hopefully you're seeing how this is working. All right. This next one is slightly tricky. You would think that you will use that percentage to get this calculation, but they're coming right here. If 60%, we just calculated 67 for Y. Anyways, I didn't read through all of this, all right? But here they're coming with a different scenario. If 60% of the people surveyed, all right, okay, 60 out of, I guess, the whatever, of the 684. All right, 60% were surveyed. How many people use an accountant or professional tax payer? All right, so here's your formula. Start from the equals to sign, copy it, double click and paste. Double click on your P, it highlights your P. Click on your P, this new p-value that you put in here. Double click on your n, it highlights your n. Grab your n's value right here, press enter. All right, what they want to the nearest whole number. Your job is to move this thing over to the whole number. Please don't mess this up. Move it over to the whole number. So in my case, 613, check my work. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, last but not least, do you see that this is a drop down? You know what to do. All right, just get it right. Whether it's categorical, whether it's quantitative, just yeah. All right, good work. We're almost through with this. Couple more. All right, let's go to 1.19, please. 1.19. Yeah, actually, I think that was the first one, but give me a second. Yep. Nope. It was this guy right here. All right, what do you see on 1.19? They're all multiple choice questions. All right, but just so I can get this started, all right, the sample size, all right, a sample of 2861. All right, here's the note to self. When it doesn't have a color, like your tabs, you see like how this tab does not have a color, this one is orangified. If it is not orangified, it means that we all collectively as a class have the same exact answer. Yeah. All right. So this one is not orangified. So we all will have that sample size. Let me zoom in a little bit more, make it bigger. All right. We all will have this percentage. We all will have this income. All right. For the most part. All right. And then we'll have this percentage right here. All right. Now, these are all drop downs. Once again, just get it right. I'm just going to click something. All right. Yeah. Hey, the more you know. All right. Now, if you want to type this out, once again, you can type it all out or you can put buzz, blah, blah, blah. I'm good with that. All right. But help you, make sure that you get this right. Please complete this and knock it out at 100%. All right, let's go to 1.21. 1.21. Yeah, that one was up here somewhere yonder. Yes. All right, so we got two of them that we got to really answer. The rest of them are drop downs. All right. So we got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. All right. I'm basically going to start from part C because that's where I see my numbers. All right. This study compares two populations. What are the two? All right. Now, just get these right. All right. Once again, these are drop downs. All right. I'm going to go through them. All right. Is this an experimental or a survey? In this class, we're dealing with surveys. All right. Experimentals is something totally different. But in this class, we're dealing with surveys. So I'm just going to assume we're dealing with surveys. So survey. Yes, sir. All right. Now, here is where our numbers actually start. You got a sample. Put it in, please. All right. So 3980. And once again, it is not orangified. So we all have the same numbers. All right, good. 63 developed tissue abnormalities. All right, that is your X. You see tissue abnormalities, good. And then the estimated women is 1,000. All right, and please note to self that up here we are gonna put 2. All right, the reason why is somewhere in here it talked about, if I remember correctly, twice as something. All right. Okay, right here. Remember that women whose mothers took the drug were twice as likely. So that's why we put in 2 up here. All right. So once we have that, all right, you guys can put in women whose mother took the PAWWMDN. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's make it make sense to you. This is a survey. All right. Now, Here we have intentionally put the wrong formula up in here. All right. These templates are templates. Templates could have issues. Templates could have errors. We do not want to provide you these templates as something that is perfect. Your job is to take these templates and make them perfect. So as you're working through these templates, if you find something that is wrong, correct it. It is on you to correct any errors. So right here, we see we put it red so we can make it very clear. Hey, something is wrong here. All right. So please note to self. All right. It is never n divided by x. For the most part, is x divided by n. So please, if you can, switch this to x divided by n. All right, let me zoom in so you guys can see this. Please make sure that this says x divided by n. Once you have that, copy it. All right. And if I were you, I will blackify it. It's no longer an issue. All right. Oh, I think I messed up my Excel, but blackify it as best as you can. All right. And then paste that formula to the right. And then double click on X, grab your X's number. Double click on N and grab your N's number. Double click on your W and grab your W's number. All right. So hopefully you can go through this and get these answers. Now, some of you guys are going to experience just what I'm experiencing here. Your Excel is burning out. All right. If you're using resources like Zoom, like I'm using to record this, all right, Zoom is already taking up a lot of resources. Excel takes up a lot of resources. So it may take some time for you. So you're going to have to be patient. But I'm just going to leave this. Let me zoom back in on there as x divided by n. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that right here. Double click on x, grab my x's number, double click on n, grab my n's number, double click on W, grab it, and press enter. All right. And they want this to the nearest 1 decimal place. All right. So your job is to then move this thing over 1 decimal place. So we all should have the same numbers on this. Check your work. Yes, indeed. All right, and then for the last one, here's your formula. Formulas are to the left. We'll copy it, Control C, Command C. We'll paste it to the right. All right, double click on M. Bang. All right, and they want as well, in there it says 1 decimal place. All right, so move this thing over to 1 decimal places. For some of you mathematicians, you can actually see what it is at 1 decimal place, but please start using the tool to set it up correctly. Yes, I know you can figure it out in your head. That's not what this is about. This is about having your system set up correctly throughout your entire system. All right. So in this case, mine will be 7.9. Check my work. Outstanding. All right. And if you would like to type true in there, type it in. All right. Now, let's go to our last one and wrap this up. So I'm going to my last one right here. All right. For my Windows users, you'll see these dial circles right here. You can actually check them, but it will not work on the Mac users. So what we're asking is that you ratify your answers as well. All right. So statistical inference, which one of these is correct? All right. It's basically looking at a population and working the sample. Using a sample, what is statistical inference? It's using a sample to understand the population parameters. So this answer right here would be correct. All right. It's basically talking about a population based on the information from a sample. All right. So please, you can click it and hopefully this doesn't kill my Excel, or ratify it. All right. All right. Yes. Because I'm using Zoom, it's going to mess this thing up. All right. But ratify this. Or for my Windows users, you can click on this checkbox and make sure that it is checked. All right. But ultimately, just get the right answers. Once everything on the side right over here is greenified, once everything is greenified, please click submit for grading, and that would be it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first class, this first lesson on using data and information to make informed decisions. I hope you enjoyed using Excel as our tool of choice that we're going to be using to help us create systems that are systematic, that produce successful results every single time. That's all I got for you. Looking forward to the next class, chapters 2, where we can organize, visualize stuff correctly. Collect, organize, and visualize stuff correctly. Until next time, have a great day. Thanks for hanging. Bye.